midpoint of a line segment. So the sort of question we'll get here is find the midpoint between two particular coordinates, or sometimes they'll say find the midpoint. The letter, sorry about my cat there, the letter for a midpoint is capital M, and it should be an XY coordinate of the segment that joins these 2 points. So those are both the same question. I'm going to go through how it works on the number plane, but you don't need to draw a number plane to do these questions. The number plane helps us see how it works. So the point 1, 2, and the point 5, -3, and the line between those is called a line segment because it's only part of an ongoing line. And they would like us to find the midpoint, which is the point halfway between those 2 points, or the middle of that line segment. And you can see pretty clearly, it looks like it's going to be about there. And we want the coordinates for that point in the middle of the line. If we have a look on the x-axis, this point is at 1, this point is at 5. Sorry about the light going a bit funny there. And the middle point is at 3. If we average those x values, so we add them together and divide by 2 because there's 2 values. The first x value is 1, the next is 5, and we're dividing by 2. That will be 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So you can see that averaging the x values gives me the x value of that midpoint. And so averaging the y values will give me the y value of the midpoint. So the y values are 2 and -3, and we can read them from the point. And to average them, we add them together and divide by 2. 2 plus -3 is -1. So -1 divided by 2, we've got -1/2. So the coordinates of the midpoint, this is the x value, and this is the y value. And you can see that a point right there, directly halfway between the 2, is 3, -1/2. But we don't need to have drawn the graph because we average the x values, average the y values, and the answers we get become the midpoint coordinates. So we want an xy coordinate. That will be the average of the x values, and the y will be the average of the y values. Sorry, going crooked there. So it's a good idea to label. Your x values come first, your y values the second ones. And without having a graph at all, sorry, I'll try to get some shade over that. I've got sunlight coming in the window. Is that a little better? Not really. We'll do our best here. So, average the x, -3 plus 5 divided by 2. And if you're feeling a little uncertain with the negatives, you can just use your calculator. We've got a fraction, negative, using the negative key, 3 plus 2, plus 5 divided by 2. Oh, and I've got 1. Average the y. -2 plus 3 divided by 2. Use your calculator again if you want. And you could have just done -2 plus 3, hit enter, and then divide by 2. 0.5 or 1/2. It's better to give it as a half, but I would accept 0.5. And so the midpoint is a coordinate with the average of the x values for our x and the average of the y values for our y.